Thank you, Madam Chair. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, colleagues, representatives of the media, our friends from Electricians Without Borders out of Martinique. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Very pleased this morning to speak to the issues of water and where we are at since the last press briefing, where we did make certain commitments to provide water before Christmas to a number of communities. I must say that has held well. We have in fact accomplished quite a bit since the last briefing. We are at the point now where about 80% of all of the people of Dominica has access again to potable water, albeit on a temporary basis in many cases. Systems that were restored or, very temporarily so that people could have water, which is life. And so we recognize that we have to revisit those systems and to make them more robust, and we are putting things in place to do that in the new year. We still have some communities without access to potable water. The number of those, about 7 water systems, are still down and out. We are happy, however, to report today that part of the challenge that we have, which is electricity, we are able to overcome in part because of the generous contributions of electricians Without Borders, who have donated to DOWASCO an amount of 8 generators. We received those yesterday. They are now in our stores, and we will begin as early as Monday to deploy those where they have to go and to begin to pump water to those communities. Mrs. James, our operations manager, will tell you in a while where those generators will be placed. But we are very grateful to our friends who have donated these generators, and the people will benefit certainly from the use of those generators beginning as early as next week. So some people are going to have a very good Christmas gift to receive potable water as a result of the use of those generators starting as early as next week. We do have other challenges in terms of pipes and fittings and other supplies. It does take some time to get those from outside into Dominica, and with regards to shipping, sometimes the boat would come and kind of dock for a day or two, would go to another port and then come back. And so we have had those challenges, and those two have contributed to the delays that we're experiencing today. Access to many of our sites still remain a major issue. We are still trying to create access to build roads so that we can get to intakes, get to pumping stations, get equipment and get pipes in those areas so that we can begin to provide water to the communities. So in a nutshell, some of the systems that we expected to restore before Christmas, we can now say will be restored some by mid-January, and 1 or 2, I believe, towards the end of January 2018. But by and large, with the exception of 3 systems, I believe all of the others will be restored this year. Among the very challenging systems we had was the Wesley Woodford Hill Marigot system, and from this we also serve part of Calibishi. I'm very pleased to report this morning that we are hoping by Sunday evening to have water through that system serving Wesley Woodford Hill and Marigot. It's a very difficult one, but the progress that we have made, again, with the assistance of our foreign partners, our donor agencies, and the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, by extension the government of Dominica, we have been able to purchase all the pipes necessary, got the equipment that was needed, and so we are nearing the completion of restoring that system. By the end of today, we should have completed all pipe works, all intake cleaning, and begin getting water into the storage tanks to begin to treat and disinfect the lines so that hopefully by Sunday evening we can open up the water to the public in the Wesley Woodford Hill Marigot area. And that also goes for Point Baptist in Calibishi. Another very troublesome system is that of the Girodel Eggleston Upper Castle Comfort system. We have been awaiting some cable out of Miami for some time now. There were tremendous issues and challenges in shipping those cables. It's over 1,500 pounds, could not come in by plane, had to go by plane, yes, but by Amerijet to St. Martin, and then from St. Martin to Dominica. And so we are hoping that we can have those cables in Dominica by Sunday afternoon, and so that we already have committed and dedicated competent staff here in Dominica, some employed by Dominica Electricity Company, who will be assisting us early next week in beginning to run those cables, and hopefully by the 22nd of December, this will be completed also, and the areas of Jodel, Egliston, Upper Castle Comfort would begin to receive water again from the water system on a normal basis. Very challenging areas that of Granby and Pishley. We are serving parts of Granby from a small Granby intake at this point, but the major intake on the Pishley River is still out of commission. We have, however, engaged a contractor who has started doing some works there. It calls for lots of pipe works as well. That we cannot expect to see water coming through any time before the end of January. But our target for this is really the end of January 2018. Soufriere, Scott said, Gallia, we were able to restore the intake and restore water to Soufriere from the intake. We are trying to, we're still trucking to Gallia and to Scotshead and Savannah. We are trying to see how best we can run the pipes, new pipes from Soufriere to Scotshead, and that we hope to accomplish by the middle of January 2018. So we are working tirelessly to restore water in the areas that do not have at this point in time. And the ones I mentioned are among the more troublesome ones. The Coolibee Street area, of course, I'm in discussion with the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, with the Minister and others and our engineers, to see what we can do for the area of Coolibee Street. I think it's pointless going back to where the intake was. It was damaged tremendously following Tropical Storm Erica. We spent in excess of $1.4 million to restore water following Tropical Storm Erica. It served for about 4 months and then completely destroyed the road access, the infrastructure, everything, really, by Hurricane Maria. And we believe it's pointless going back there. We have to find an alternative means to supply water to the Coolibee Street area. And so we're looking at several options. We have begun the discussions with the ministry. And so we are hoping to really get full speed ahead on this early in 2018, so that the people of Coolibee Street, Monrachet can receive a reliable source of potable water. In the meantime, we are serving them from a Colliho system that was restored, and also from the Picard intake in Portsmouth. But when that happens, it means that we're going to have to begin some kind of rationing in the Portsmouth area. And we know the significance and the importance of the Ross University Medical School there. Lots of foreign students we expect to be here very soon. And so we have to be careful how we treat with that. And so we need to restore a reliable supply for Coolibee Street, Grand Savannah, Salisbury, and these areas. We do have on the cards a number for the system, some that should have started. Contracts were already signed prior to Hurricane Maria, and those we intend to revisit very, very soon to ensure that we get going full speed ahead on those, and of course to build the necessary climate resilience that we need to at this time in our water systems. So, P.S., I'll stop at this point, and anything else I'll address if we find the time as we go along. Thank you.